Cameron burst through the attic door, dust motes dancing in the afternoon sunlight that streamed through the circular window. Dark curls bounced with each step as nimble fingers traced along the old wooden beams, searching for hidden treasures among Grandma's forgotten boxes. A faded purple sweater hung loose over paint-splattered jeans, and mismatched socks peeked out from well-worn sneakers, one striped, one polka-dotted because matching was boring. "Just old books and moth-eaten clothes," came the disappointed mutter, until something glinted beneath a pile of yellowed newspapers. A brass pocket watch, its surface etched with swirling patterns that seemed to move in the light. The watch felt warm in small hands, and when the crown was pressed, the world shimmered like heat waves on summer pavement. The dusty attic melted away, replaced by a bustling medieval marketplace materialized around a young time traveler. Merchants hawked their wares from wooden stalls, and the air filled with the scent of fresh bread and herbs. People in long robes and pointed hats hurried past, not giving a second glance to the child in strange modern clothes. "Watch where you're going." A boy about the same age crashed straight into the newcomer, sending them both tumbling into a pile of hay. He wore a rough brown tunic and had a leather pouch tied to his belt. His face flushed red as he scrambled to his feet. "You made me drop my master's coins." Silver pieces scattered across the cobblestones. The boy dove after them, counting frantically as he gathered each one. 7, 8. Oh no, there were 10. Master William will have my hide. "I'll help you look." Together they searched between the cobblestones and under the merchants' tables. 9 coins clinked safely back into the pouch, but the 10th remained missing. The boy's shoulders sagged. "Master William already thinks I'm careless. Last week I accidentally knocked over his ink pot. He'll never trust me again." "Maybe it rolled under that cart." They peered beneath a wooden wheel but found only mud and straw. "It's no use. I should go tell him now and face my punishment." The boy trudged away, head hanging low. The watch grew warm again. Without thinking, slender fingers pressed the crown and the medieval scene dissolved. Cameron tumbled onto soft grass beneath a different sky. This time, tall buildings of glass and steel stretched impossibly high, and strange vehicles hummed past on roads that glowed with soft blue light. The year 2087, according to a floating holographic calendar. "Hey, you're sitting in my experiment zone." A girl with silver hair tied in intricate braids stood with her hands on her hips. She wore a jumpsuit that shimmered with rainbow colors and held what looked like a tablet made of transparent crystal. "You're what?" "My experiment zone. I've been growing synthetic flowers here for the science fair, and you just crushed my best specimen." She pointed to a flattened purple bloom that sparkled like it was dusted with stars. "I didn't mean to." 3 months of work ruined." The girl's voice cracked. "Zara always wins the science fair. She says I'm too clumsy to be a real scientist. Now she'll be right." The crushed flower lay between them, its petals already turning brown at the edges. The girl knelt beside it, gently trying to prop up the broken stem. "I could help you grow a new one." "It takes 12 weeks for them to bloom. The fair is tomorrow." She gathered her equipment, movements sharp with frustration. "Forget it. Zara was right about me anyway." The watch pulsed with warmth. The crown seemed to press itself, and the futuristic city faded like a dream. This time the landing was softer, right into a pile of autumn leaves in what looked like a park from the 1950s. Children in knee socks and suspenders played on a simple metal swing set, while parents watched from wooden benches. "That's mine." A small boy pointed at the pocket watch. "You stole my grandpa's watch." "I didn't steal it. I found it in my grandma's attic." "Liar! Grandpa lost it last week and you took it." The boy's face scrunched up, tears threatening to spill. "He's been so sad. It was his father's watch, and his father's before that. Give it back." Other children stopped playing to stare. Whispers of thief floated across the playground. The boy stepped closer, reaching for the watch with trembling hands. "Wait, I can explain." But the watch was already growing warm. The playground spun away in a blur of color and motion. Cameron sat back in the dusty attic, heart racing. The brass pocket watch lay cool and still, as if the adventures had been nothing but daydreams. But the feelings remained. The weight of being blamed, misunderstood, causing hurt without meaning to. Footsteps creaked on the attic stairs. Grandma appeared, her silver hair pinned back with the same butterfly clip she'd worn for years. "Found something interesting?" The watch caught the light as small hands held it up. "Grandma, is this yours?" Her eyes widened. "My father's pocket watch. I thought it was lost forever." She settled onto an old trunk, patting the space beside her. "Where did you find it?" "Under some newspapers. Grandma, did you ever feel like everything you did turned out wrong? Like you hurt people without meaning to?" Grandma's weathered hands gently took the watch, tracing its familiar patterns. "Oh, sweetheart, more times than I can count. When I was your age, I accidentally broke my best friend Mary's new doll. She didn't speak to me for a month." "What did you do?" "I saved my allowance and bought her a new one. But you know what? She didn't forgive me because of the doll. She forgave me because I kept showing up at her house every day, asking if she wanted to play. Sometimes saying sorry isn't enough. You have to show you care." The watch seemed to pulse with gentle warmth in Grandma's hands. "But the hardest person to forgive was myself. I carried that guilt around like a heavy stone until Mary told me something I'll never forget." "What did she say?" "That holding on to guilt was like trying to run a race with rocks in your pockets. It only slows you down." Grandma pressed the watch into young hands. "This was meant to be yours. My father always said it would find its way to the right person." That night, Cameron lay in bed, turning the watch over and over. The medieval boy who lost his coin, the future girl with her ruined experiment, the child from the past who thought his treasure was stolen. Each one hurt and angry, just like Mary had been. The watch grew warm. This time the journey felt different, purposeful rather than random. The medieval marketplace appeared exactly as before, with the same boy searching frantically between cobblestones. "Still looking for that coin?" The boy jumped. "You again? Haven't you caused enough trouble?" "I came back to help. Really help this time." Together they searched again, but this time with careful method, dividing the square into sections, checking each thoroughly. There! A glint of silver winked from beneath a merchant's scale. The 10th coin had rolled farther than they thought. The boy clutched his complete pouch, eyes wide. "You came back just to help me?" "Everyone makes mistakes. Even your Master William, I bet." The boy's face softened. "He did spill wine on Lord Edmund's best tapestry once. Told me about it when he was teaching me to be more careful." He squared his shoulders. "Maybe I'll tell him what happened. If you help me find it, perhaps he'll understand it was an accident." The watch pulsed, and the scene shifted to the futuristic garden. The girl sat beside her ruined flower, crystal tablet dark beside her. "I brought something." Cameron pulled out a small pot hidden behind the time traveler's back. Grandma's prized African violet from the kitchen windowsill, its purple blooms almost matching the crushed synthetic flower. "But that's an ancient species. They're extinct in my time." The girl's eyes sparkled with wonder as she gently touched the fuzzy leaves. "The judges have never seen a living heritage plant. This is better than any synthetic flower." "Sometimes accidents lead to something better. Maybe Zara's wrong about you being clumsy. Maybe you're just brave enough to try things that might fail." The girl smiled, cradling the pot. "I never thought of it that way. You know what? Even if I don't win, at least I'll have shown them something amazing." One more pulse of warmth, and the 1950s playground materialized. The boy sat alone on a swing, dragging his feet in the dirt. Cameron approached slowly, the pocket watch extended. "I think this might be your grandpa's, but I promise I didn't steal it. My grandma had it in her attic. She must have found it somewhere." The boy looked up, eyes puffy from crying. "Really?" "Look." The watch opened to reveal an inscription. To Thomas, with love from Father. Is your grandpa named Thomas? Yes. The boy took the watch with shaking hands. He'll be so happy. He thought he'd lost the last piece of his father. His face crumpled. I'm sorry I called you a thief. I was just so upset. It's okay. I'd be upset too if I thought someone took something that special. The boy wiped his nose on his sleeve. Want to come meet my grandpa? He makes the best chocolate chip cookies, and I bet he'd share with the person who found his watch. I'd like that, but I have to go. Tell him the watch went on an adventure, but it always remembered where home was. The attic reformed around Cameron, afternoon sun now painting long shadows across the floor. The watch felt different now, lighter somehow, as if it had released a burden it had been carrying. Grandma's voice called from downstairs. Dinner's ready. At the table, between bites of spaghetti, the day's adventure tumbled out in excited words. And then I realized they were all hurt, just like Mary. But when I went back... Grandma smiled knowingly. You discovered the secret, didn't you? That forgiveness isn't just a word. It's showing up. It's trying to make things right. And sometimes it's letting go of the hurts so you can move forward. The boy with the coin might still get in trouble. The girl might not win her science fair. And the other boy's grandpa was sad for a whole week. I couldn't fix everything. No, sweetheart. We can't erase our mistakes or take away all the hurt. But we can choose what happens next. We can choose kindness over anger, understanding over blame. Grandma reached across the table to squeeze a small hand. And most importantly, we can forgive ourselves for not being perfect. That night, the brass pocket watch sat on the nightstand, its surface catching the moonlight. Cameron said quietly to it in the darkness, Thank you for showing me, for helping me understand. The watch seemed to pulse once more, not with the warmth of time travel, but with something gentler, like a heartbeat, like forgiveness itself. In dreams that night, medieval merchants smiled and waved. A future scientist held up a trophy with an ancient flower beside her. A boy from the past hugged his grandfather, pocket watch chain glinting in the sun. And somewhere in those dreams, Cameron understood that the greatest journeys weren't through time, but through the heart. Learning to forgive others and finally learning to forgive yourself. The morning sun crept to the bedroom curtains, painting golden stripes across the floor. The pocket watch lay silent on the nightstand, its traveling days perhaps behind it. But its lesson lived on in a young heart that had learned the most timeless magic of all. Downstairs, Grandma hummed in the kitchen, making pancakes that filled the house with sweetness. Today felt different, lighter, like running that race without rocks in your pockets, just like Grandma had said. Good morning, time traveler, Grandma said with a wink as Cameron bounced into the kitchen. Where shall we adventure today? Right here, came the confident reply. I think I've had enough time travel for a while. Besides, I promised Mrs. Chen next door I'd help her plant bulbs this afternoon. I accidentally stepped on some of her flowers last week. Grandma's smile was proud and knowing. That sounds like a perfect adventure to me. And it was. Because sometimes the most magical journeys happen right where you are, when you choose to make things right one small act of kindness at a time. The pocket watch ticked on the nightstand upstairs, keeping perfect time, not of hours or minutes, but of moments, precious moments when hearts choose forgiveness and hands reach out in friendship. That was the real magic it had shared, a magic that would last long after its brass surface tarnished and its gears grew still. In years to come, Cameron would tell the story to children and grandchildren, always ending with the same words, the watch taught me that we all make mistakes. We all cause hurt sometimes without meaning to. But we also all have the power to make things better. Not perfect, but better. And that's a kind of time travel, too, moving from a moment of hurt to a moment of healing. It just takes a little courage, a little kindness, and a lot of forgiveness. And the children would always ask to see the watch, to hold it and feel its weight. Some swore they felt it pulse with warmth. Others said it was just an old watch, beautiful but ordinary. But Cameron knew the truth. The magic wasn't in the watch at all. It never had been.